Let's talk about your dreams first. What do you want to do? And then let's talk about how we can make that a reality. Because we've made so many dreams come true. I think that's what I am, a dream maker. All their dreams are coming true beyond their wildest dreams. I'm from AVN Systems.
Our customers are spoiled because we're putting this in the infrastructure and they're hearing it right away. If we were to unplug it, they would be really disappointed. They're like, something's going on with electrical power, you have to call your electrician or something like this.
Right off the bat, we're giving them the best they can experience. And whenever we plug one in, there's just no going back.
My name is Pandey. I'm here at the Equi Tech booth to talk about some cool power stuff.
The name of my company is AVN Systems. We do AV designs. They work closely with acousticians. They do the studio. So we're working in tandem with them.
Power isn't really perceived as cool, but I've been an Equi Tech owner and user since 2003. I have a wall panel at my studio in Boston, Mad Oak Recording. My new studio in Miami is going to have 2 RQs, and my speaker showroom in Miami has a 2 RQ. We did some demos with 2 RQ plugged into the amps and DSP and the console. Right away, the noise floor was like the Mariana Trench. It was just disappeared, and it was almost scary thinking that that's what you get from power. So people don't think of power first. They think of the equipment and the speakers and everything else first. You have to think about your power first, especially if you're using a computer. And A to D and DA converters, you're gonna need really, really good power because you're gonna hear all the deficiencies in those products if you don't clean your power up first. Installing studios all over the world, the one consistent thing is that you have inconsistent power. You can always rely that the power is going to be terrible, unreliable, intermittent, all of the above. So we just did a studio in Jamaica and we have a wall unit there, and that just cleaned everything up. So we used the battery backup, we designed the electrical riser panel properly. That's one guarantee that all the gear is gonna work properly and perform at its best in all these locations, because the infrastructure is of the utmost importance, at least from my point of view. So if you can't afford the wall panel, at least you can get into one of these and really improve what you're doing. With Equi Tech, you're always noticing there's some sort of noise floor there. If you're not hearing it, you're feeling it. There's something going on there. But when you plug it into the Equi Tech, it was gone. They were kind of scared, like, is the gear on? You're buying all this expensive consoles and outboard equipment and things like that. All of those products have their own power supplies. What you're doing is you're alleviating all the things that that power supply has to do to get the power to the circuits. This is just easing it in. It's like being fed a keto diet. You know, your gear is now running on ketones, which is pure energy. It's not dirty power, dirty diet, whatever you want to call it. No potato chips involved. This thing is just cleaning it up and making all that stuff work at its best. Time alignment and just clarity on the outboard equipment and headroom. You're getting all the headroom that the gear was designed for. They'll print specs. Hey, it's 20 to 20, but unless you're dealing with the power first, you won't experience that. This is about experiencing your gear to its maximum potential. Now, you can start with just an isolated ground transformer if you can't afford the Equi Tech, but I think Equi Tech's coming out with a new product that will be much more affordable and will cost less than your converter, called a 1Q, and I think it's gonna be like $19.99, which is less than your interface. So invest in that first, and that way you know all the gear you'll buy is just gonna sound its best. Power is definitely not a sexy topic to talk about. Now, we can go into the audiophile world and talk about that all day long, but we're not gonna talk about cables or anything here. We're talking about real infrastructure inside this unit. It's not sexy, but what you're hearing is sexy. You'll never go back. It's one of those experiences. So you have to listen to it. You have to experience it to really believe it. That's my experience. And that's why I keep buying more.
99% of our clients are referrals. I've been in the business so long that there's a whole network, and people are calling me that way.
What essentially do you do for a customer?
First, it starts with a conversation. Let's talk about your dreams first. What do you want to do? And then let's talk about how we can make that a reality. Because we've made so many dreams come true, I think that's what I am, a dream maker. All their dreams are coming true beyond their wildest dreams. I think that's what it is, delivering dreams. If you have the luxury and the lifestyle to be able to create your own music all the time in your own place, that's a dream for me. I want that dream. Doing the research on Martin Glasband, who's invented the technology, was important for me, and having those long conversations really planted the seeds, giving me the knowledge so I could relay that to all my clients.
Okay, let's just address something head on. A lot of people, I think, if we're being honest, think that Equi Tech or any kind of power is snake oil. What do you say to that?
You can think of it whatever you want, but hearing it is the believing it. Just like speakers, just like any piece of outboard equipment, you have to experience it. So try to make time to find someone who has it, go to the place that has it. Obviously, we're going to have it in Miami at the showroom there. Or maybe we can send a unit to you so you can experience it. I think that's the key. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for the feel. So literally, let's go to physics, where you have sound waves affecting you and changing your whole experience. Music heals me. So that's what it is. I think for me, it's all about the relationships. That's what I'm taking away from my career in this industry. I maintain these relationships for 30 plus years, and you'll have the same client come back many times around. A client of ours in the late 90s now is building a 3-room facility in First and Caicos. So just to see them grow and expand and keep building those relationships, that's key for me. Go to avnsys.com. Find us on Instagram, avnsys. DM me, ask me questions. I love talking about this stuff. We can geek out together.